Today, Key, I'm going to tell everybody all the naughty things you've done. You've done lots of naughty things growing up, and I'm going to tell everybody about the naughty things you've done. You're not always a good boy. Sometimes you've been a bit naughty. And it's always been on purpose. So we can start with when you were toilet training. And you were only a few months old. And we basically lived our life. We lived our life in the conservatory. And the back door was always open, so that you could go outside and do your toilet. And you knew you needed to do it out there. But one day I told you off for something and I can't remember what it was. Can you remember? And the back door was open. It was. The back door was wide open. And I told you off for something. And you ran into the conservatory. You stood in the middle of the room. You looked me dead in the eyes with a big grin forming on your face. You weed on the carpet, didn't you? You weed all over the carpet whilst grinning at me. And then when I told you no, you ran outside. You just burped, didn't you? You ran outside and you finished weeing. Because you knew you shouldn't have done that in the house. But you did it because you got told off. Didn't you? You did? That was so loud. So we have two stories that are very similar. And both happened when he was a puppy and under a year old. So the first one was when... Oh dear, what happened to your foot? The first one happened when I was making a birthday cake for my nan. It was a Swiss roll with raspberry jam and whipped cream inside. And I'd finished it. It looked lovely. It was on the kitchen table and I stepped out of the kitchen for a few minutes, and when I came back there was a bite taken out of it. And do we know who did it? It was you. You ate it. You did. You took a big chunk out of the end of my Swiss roll. Was it nice? Was it worth it? I think so too. And the second instance of a cake going missing was when my mum had cooked a Victoria sponge and the two sponges were cooling on a cooling rack on the kitchen table. And she came back to find a chunk out of the side of one and a hole in the centre of the other one, where he had helped himself and completely ruined both halves of that cake. So we had to start from scratch, didn't we? Was it tasty? You got a taste for cake, didn't you? No wonder you like waffles so much. So we've got a couple recent naughty behaviours, which were more funny than actually naughty. So this next story happened just this week. I was telling my sister all about my onions that I was growing. They're about 5 inches long and doing really well outside in a small trough on the ground. Key was having a look at them, and as soon as I finished speaking, he slapped them. Didn't you? You smacked my onion plants until they all fell over. You smacked my spring onions. I had to replant them. I had to put them back in the ground so that they could grow. I don't think you killed them, thankfully. This next story happened just a couple of days ago. I was moving my plants around. I put my blueberry bush on the ground beside him because I was paying too much attention to the blueberry bush. What are you doing? He decided to prune it. Yes, you pruned it. You plucked off a blueberry. that wasn't ready. You pulled off a blueberry and you spat it on the floor. And it wasn't ready to be picked. But you did it because I was paying too much attention to the plant and not enough to you. You're so needy. He's generally been a very good boy, and he's not been terribly destructive. The only thing he really liked to destroy growing up was tissues. If you found a tissue anywhere, he got shredded. He liked to shred tissues. That's probably where you got your love of shredding boxes, paper. You like to be told off, don't you? You like to do naughty things, like sitting on the sofa and throwing the cushions off, because you want me to come in and tell you off. Because you know that all you're going to end up getting is a belly rub. How could I be mad at you? You're far too cute to be mad at. And then there was the time that Key pooped in the house. It happened on a day when his best friend was coming to visit. And I took him outside to go toilet, but he didn't go. And then when they arrived, he got caught up in the excitement and he snuck off for a few minutes. Key had done a little poop outside my mum's bedroom. Didn't you? You did a little poop. You went as far away from me as you could and you pooped outside my mum's bedroom. Thankfully, it was nice and solid and easy to pick up. And I wasn't mad at you because I know you didn't mean to do it. You just really needed to go. And you were too excited to properly ask to go out the door. What are you thinking about? Are you going to tell them a story now? About when you've been naughty? You have. Come on, share a story. What do you mean you have? Carry on. Right, now tell the story. About when you were naughty. Good boy.